Hello, my name is Lon Safko, co-author of the Social Media Bible, published by John Wiley & Sons, the most comprehensive book ever written on the subject of social media. And today we're here with Michael Naef, the founder and CEO of Doodle.com, the online scheduling website. And Mike is all the way here from Zurich, Switzerland with us today. That's pretty exciting. And we'll be speaking about social media and online scheduling. And so Michael, let's get started. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about your background, who you are?
Well, yeah. Hi, everybody. As you said, my name is Mike Naef. I'm the founder and CEO of Doodle, and before I founded the company, I studied computer science and education here at ETH in Zurich, and I worked in various companies as an information security professional. Yeah, that's it.
So what made you found, first of all, tell the listeners a little bit about what Doodle is.
Doodle solves the scheduling problem. It helps finding a common date and time for your group's event, which can be an appointment, a conference call, a family reunion, a barbecue, or whatever. And in that, Doodle focuses on delivering a very simple and usable service which is free to the end users.
I like that, to have one kind of a clearing place where everybody can kind of see what your schedule is so they can book meetings and family things, and that's kind of exciting. What prompted you? What made you wake up one morning and say, you know what, I'm going to create Doodle?
It was... The original service was conceived and implemented in 2003, and the idea for the service was born from my personal need. I wanted to make an appointment with some friends. I don't know whether it's for a beer or a dinner or anything. And this process resulted, as many of you know, in a large number of emails being sent around and phone calls, but no common date and time being found. So I implemented Doodle, and the service soon attracted a large and growing user base also, and in 2006 I decided to professionalize the service, which led to the company being found together with my business partner Paul Savinch.
Wow. So just like a lot of software and solutions that we're finding on the internet, it really kind of sprung out of a personal need and then kind of turned into a professional product. Can you tell me how specifically, can you give me some examples of how people are actually using Doodle? What are the different things that you're seeing happening?
People are using it for all kinds of use cases. At the moment in Switzerland alone, we have more than 500,000 people who use the service each month.
Wow.
They use it both for business and private events. And they mostly appreciate Doodle's simplicity and the low entry barrier, because you don't require to download anything or to install a software or to register for the service. So they use it for the examples I mentioned, business meetings, family reunions, ski weekends here in Switzerland, obviously, all kinds of stuff.
And you're absolutely right about the easy use. I love that interface. It's really simple. I mean, it's just kind of click and type. So you said you have 500,000 people using it in your area. So this is actually internationally used as well. Is that correct?
Yes. The 500,000 is in Switzerland. Internationally, we're approaching something like 2 million users at the moment.
Wow.
Doodle is used in many countries worldwide, and we're actually also translated into 25 languages currently.
Wow.
And what's interesting is that most or all of the languages are translated by volunteers from these various countries, all except the major languages, which are German and English, which we provide ourselves.
And that's also something that kind of excites me. First of all, a thought just kind of ran into my head as we were listening to you speak, is that you're competing with companies like Google, for example, who kind of run their own calendar, but yet you've got a 2 million membership. That's incredible.
Yes, but we're not competing with companies like Google with their calendar or Microsoft with their calendar or let's say Lotus with notes and their calendar, because we don't even provide a calendar, and that's important. We won't ever provide a calendar, but we provide the missing link between calendars and between people who use different calendars or don't use a calendar at all or use a paper-based calendar, because we help them coordinate the process of finding a date and time.
See, I really like that distinction. Can you tell our listeners a little bit more about that distinction, that you don't provide necessarily a calendar, that you provide this interface? Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, it may be easiest if I just explain how Doodle is used, how people use Doodle.
Please.
And the typical use case is that the organizer visits our site and creates a so-called poll, which offers a number of dates to choose from. Then the organizer receives a unique web link, which Doodle provides, which he or she can send to the participants. And these participants use this link then to access the poll and enter their availabilities. And the organizer uses that same link to monitor the poll's progress and determine the best option at the end. So that's it in a nutshell, and this should show that we don't need the calendar information built into the tool, but we base on the participants providing this information to us.
Yeah, I really like that, because it isn't just another calendar scheduling website. It really does provide a very unique niche, a very unique solution. And the other thing that I heard you mention, which keeps coming up, I had the pleasure of interviewing Matt Mullenweg, the founder of WordPress, and some others, is that volunteers, WikiHow, also Jack Herrick, and I hear this theme that when you have a good product that's accepted by your audience, that the volunteers come out of the woodwork and just put time into it and effort just to continuously make this a better product, and they don't get rewarded, they don't get paid, that it really is a volunteer base. And you say that also applies to you.
Yes, it applies to us too. As I said, most of our languages are translated by volunteers, and they actually write to us and say, "Hey, I'm sitting here in Portugal, and I'm using Doodle with my friends and family, and they would love to have it in their own language. So can I help translate it to Portuguese, for example?" And then we just send them the text they have to translate, and they send them back in. And we also think this is important to our users because we provide a very simple service, and one could think that it's okay to have it in English only, but it's important to have it in the local language of the people who are using it, because our target audience is not the internet professional, but everyday people who might not be familiar with English applications.
And that's also a really good point, and it seems to also be a recurring theme in the interviews, is that too often Americans are U.S.-centric. I mean, we think that, it's the United States, and then there's other people too. And we have a tendency not to realize the importance of localizing software to get adopted. 10 or 15 years ago, I had a company that had 3 international sales offices, one in Sweden, one in Norway, and one in Oslo, and I spent a great deal of time translating my software into Swedish and some of the other Scandinavian languages, just because that's the right thing to do. If you're going to interface with those people, there's no reason why you shouldn't. And that's great that you get these volunteers that are willing to jump up and do that.
Yes, that's what I think too. I also think that localization is very important, and I think that as a Switzerland-based company, we're in a perfect position for that, because, as you might know, Switzerland is a country with 4 official languages, so we're quite used to providing just about everything in several languages.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And again, it's a recurring theme, is that we need, all of us throughout the world need to be sensitive that social media really is an international set of tools and applications. Is there a particular success story? Is there a particular company that you can talk about, or someone who actually used Doodle and had a really kind of good success that would make us say, wow, I want to go do Doodle? Is there something you can think of?
We have loads of success stories, and some of them are listed as testimonials on our website also. And I'd suggest that I just quote one of them, who says, "My work is driven by conference calls, and it is a pain to arrange an appropriate time among several parties. You have saved me endless heartache and trouble with this brilliant polling system." So this is the type of feedback that we get. There's also people who are telling us that they're using Doodle to schedule meetings with people at 7 different hospitals where they need 100% attendance. And they're very happy with Doodle because it allows them to schedule a meeting and coordinate, accommodate and time within minutes usually.
And again, that's absolutely true. Just for example, scheduling our conference, right now it's only 8 o'clock in the morning in Phoenix, Arizona, while it's after 5 o'clock in Zurich. And it took us a little bit of work to figure out Greenwich Mean Time. And if we had 2 or 3 other people that had to participate in this call, especially if they were global, it really would be a difficult process. Is there any way that you can, in your scheduling, take into consideration time zones?
Yes, we do offer that. You can. There's one step in the process of setting up a poll where you have to mention or define which time slots you're offering, and there you can either use time zones or not. And when you use them, we will calculate them recalculate them to the appropriate times in the time zones of each participant, so they get their time correct automatically.
And I really do appreciate that you have that tool in there, because my partners are in California, I'm in Arizona, I do a lot of business in Chicago and New York, I have some designers in the Ukraine, so international conference calls can really be a nuisance, because all you have to do is make a wrong calculation and you totally blow the call. So that's a useful tool. I appreciate that being in there.
Okay.
Great. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell our listeners to make them understand better and get them excited? Anything else that other features or functions, benefits of Doodle?
Just because you mentioned social media tools and asked me beforehand how we integrate into other social media tools, I'd be happy to mention some of the options that we're offering there.
Please.
For one, Doodle allows you to import events into your regular calendar also. So you can import an event into Outlook, Google Calendar, or your Macintosh iCal application. That's one thing. Another thing is that you can also incorporate the poll summary into your own web page or blog, and you can subscribe to a poll's feed with the Google Reader or any other feed reader or portal pages like iGoogle and NetVibes.
Wow.
And maybe the latest breaking news when it comes to social media is that this Monday we released our Facebook application. So this allows you also to schedule events with your Facebook friends directly. This is a function that Facebook didn't offer up to now.
Those are exciting features. I love the idea of mashing up and embedding your service, your product, into other social media tools that people are comfortable with. Because too many tools on the internet are completely independent, and you have to jump around between websites to use them. That's a really good feature. One last question, if you don't mind. How do you monetize it? How do you cover the overhead?
Our main revenue stream is advertising. We're publishing ads on the page. This is not too obvious on the international pages, but the basis that we have in Switzerland with that huge number of users each month is a perfect basis to monetize the traffic. And in our second revenue stream is something we call corporate Doodle, which are hosted Doodle instances, which we provide to corporations and organizations with their logo and their name and their brand in effect.
That's great too. I'm hearing that more and more, that rather than charging the people for a service fee or a membership fee or some kind of a monthly fee, that the advertising alone really kind of is the way to go about monetizing. That's a great idea. So, Michael, just to conclude here, can you tell our listeners where they can find more information about Doodle so that they can start using it?
Yeah, sure. That's very easy. It's www.doodle.ch.
CH. Okay, again, we're US-centric here, so we just assume .com. So it's doodle.ch. It's
doodle.ch, and that's how we started, and that's where we are now. And it also kind of fits because we're a Swiss service, and this is Switzerland is always related to punctuality and reliability and stuff like that. So these are attributes that we like also to be attributed to Doodle. But we're working on the .com domain, and we're confident that we're going to have it in a few weeks' time.
That's excellent. Or even a .us. That's great.
That's an option too.
Again, Michael, thank you so much. I'd really like to thank Michael Naef, the CEO and founder of Doodle.com, for being here with us today, again, all the way live from Zurich, Switzerland, and sharing his incredible insights on the social media applications of online scheduling, Doodle.ch. Michael, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
This has been Lon Safko, co-author of the Social Media Bible. Be sure to check out the other valuable social media tactics, tools, and strategies that can be found in the Social Media Bible book and at its companion website, www.thesocialmediabible.com. And for more information about me, Lon Safko, please, by all means, visit my website at www.lonsafko.com. And again, Michael, again, thank you really for talking to us from across the world here this morning. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, and take care.